I mean, half the time I don't know what I'm doing either, and because YouTube changes things and they don't ever tell you. So I think it's the best part about it is you can try things, and if it doesn't work, you can try something else. And I think we also mentioned this too, where I was talking before to people, they're like, well, how have you done this for so long? Or how are you so successful? I'm like, well, I haven't quit. And I think that is one of the biggest things, because I've had so many friends that have started YouTube channels. They've got a little bit of a following, and it wasn't doing that well, and then they're like, I'm done. I mean, I've definitely had some crazy ups and downs on YouTube where I was like, is this what I should be doing? I don't know. And I think it's just changing that mindset that you have with it and just enjoying and loving the process is so important, because if you're not loving what you're doing, like, you gotta find something else.
What's your favorite part of the process? Is it the cutting? Is it the playing with the cool new toys?
I love to edit. Like, it's really what I love to do so much, but I love being able to be a part of that whole process and have my sister as well, because it's great working with her. Like, everybody needs a Jenna because she knows what I want as well, and I don't even have to tell her, which has been really hard when I try to shoot with other people, because I just assume that they know what they're doing and it's gonna look great, and then I look at the footage and I start freaking out. I'm like, what did you do? Why would you do this?
Do you actively try and push and inflate, this sort of work towards Instagram or towards Twitter, or are you just going, I'm gonna cut this down and just put it there?
I mean, YouTube is like my main home for longer form content, and then I just cut pieces of that and put it into Instagram. I mean, I love drones, so that's usually where I put most of my drone stuff is on Instagram.
Except for that one you said.
That was the GoPro Karma. We don't talk about that.
I don't think GoPro talks about it anymore either.
I don't think they do either.
That was one of the ones where they clearly didn't work that out. What drone do you have right now?
I've been using the new Mavic 2, the Pro, which is amazing, and the zoom is awesome too. It's the second one, so you can actually do zoom.
Do you have any problems flying it in the LA area?
Oh yeah, I'm always getting yelled at. I was like, oh, but I didn't know. I just got this new toy. I'm not sure, I'm not from here. And they're like, Justine, we watch your videos. You know exactly what you're doing. Like, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Have you destroyed a couple of drones at this point?
I have, yeah, I've definitely got a lot better. The tech has gotten a lot better, but I think that is one of the things that is very important is drone safety, because it is a very serious thing. So I am now way more careful about where I fly, when I fly, and not over people and things like that.
Not to be a complete shill for the educational side, you should know at NAB there's a drone track of education specifically, and some of it preps you for the exam so you're allowed to fly about the 400 foot mark and stuff. It's neat, and just so you're aware, you, Jenna, you've decided to come to NAB. We can make sure that there's a pass available for you, okay?
Okay, great.
That's a no-brainer. We're going to get near the part of wrapping. If you could give yourself a piece of advice 5 years ago, 10 years ago when you get started, what would that piece of advice be?
I think, one thing for me, I've always, everyone's like, what's your goal in the next 5 years? What do you want to do? And I think that I always have sort of these weird goals in mind, but if I would have stayed with my original goal, which was I wanted to be a programmer, that was what I wanted to do. I was dead set on.
What language?
This was in high school and
sure.
middle school. We did C++, and I was like, oh, I'll do Java, and then I taught myself HTML when I was in 6th grade because I wanted to make websites, and then I learned ActionScript when I was doing Flash, and then that got killed. But I don't have to talk about it. It's still a little sensitive to me.
Wow.
But now it's just crazy how everything's changed. So I think sometimes when people set goals, they are so determined on that one thing that they forget about the other things that could have come from that. So I think it's just being flexible and make yourself uncomfortable, because there also was a point in my YouTube career where I was so comfortable doing what I was doing, everything was fine, and I wasn't growing myself. So that again was, this whole year I feel has been a growing process and learning process.
What are you doing to grow this year?
I think just doing more things that aren't focused around things that I'm comfortable with. What is something that I started training in martial arts classes, which was so uncomfortable, walking into an entirely new thing and not knowing anything at all, and just being able to push those boundaries of things. And even something like this, I don't really speak very often, so was like, yeah, I'll do it. This is cool. And I really wanted to come here anyway. I was like, maybe I can find some cool editors. So I'm accepting applications.
Does anybody know how to edit?
Well, also just to learn too, because there's so much that I don't know about this program. Like I learn something every single day, and I think that's what I really love about it too.